Welcome to the Tough Area Rise Up sheet. This one is a little bit step up from when you were in elementary and middle school when you did basic area or perimeter. 1A, an athlete is running laps around the high school track shown below. If X is 48, so make sure you label 48 yards for the width of that rectangle, and Y is 132 yards. That is the length of that rectangle. It says, what is the approximate perimeter of the track? Explain how you got your answer and show your work for full credit. Use 3.14 for pi. I don't mind if you use your pi button as well on your calculator. Perimeter, make sure you're going around the track. That means you're doing this side, and you're adding those up. But you're also running around the rounded areas right here, which together is the outside of a circle. So make sure you add up the orange, and both blues when you go around. And the two blues make a full circle, so we're going around, so be careful when you do that. Now when you get to B though, that's a different problem. It says the grounds crew is going to seed the interior. Interior is a key word, that's inside, so we know we're doing area. Grass seed coverage is calculated in square feet. Find the area of the field to the nearest square foot. Well, immediately we should see a problem because our dimensions at the top were given in yards. I'm trying to show you a little visual here. Make sure you're okay with this idea. Just so you know, if you had a square yard, that means 1 yard by 1 yard. How many square feet are in a square yard? Well, we know that there are 3 feet in a yard, so there would be 3 going that way and 3 going that way. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 square feet in 1 square yard. I know you might be thinking, hey, there's 3 feet in a yard. You're right, but there's 9 square feet in a square yard. So make sure you find the area of this, which I'm sure you can see would be a rectangle and 1 full circle. So you look right on your formula sheet and find the area of the rectangle and the circle to find out the total area, which is in square yards, and then please change that to square feet. Then when you go to C, you'll need the information from B, so be careful there. The grounds crew needs to buy grass seed. They're going to purchase Scott's Lawn and Turf Builder Zoysia grass seed at $37.29 per 5-pound bag. Each bag covers 2,000 square feet of lawn. So if you have the square footage from up here, you can find out how many of those bags you would need to be able to cover your whole yard. Remember, if you go to a store to buy, you can't buy part of a bag, and you definitely want to have enough. So find out how many you need and then how much that will cost. That's part C. Now the back side is where it gets a little trickier. So I'm actually going to have a separate diagram. I did mine on a separate sheet when I did it, but if you have neat handwriting and can fit it on here, that's great. A goat is tied to the corner of a 5x4 shed with an 8-meter rope. Rounded to the nearest square meter, what is the area grazed by the goat? Draw a picture, write the formulas for each area, and explain how you got your answer. So I want all of that. I want a clear explanation. This was a little small for an area for me, so I went and put it on a separate sheet of paper. Zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so if I look at this one right here, maybe even zoom in a little more, or zoom out I should say. If I have this one right here, I have my 5x4 shed, and the goat is on the end of an 8-meter rope. I found it easiest to put my goat all the way straight up for drawing my shape. Now, what I want to find first is where are the farthest edges of where he's allowed to be. Well, he can go 8 meters straight out. He could go over this way. He could go 8 meters straight out. He could swing all the way down here and be 8 meters from here. And he could take the rope and go all the way over here and be out here 8 meters. And if I sketch that in, I will notice that it is part of a circle. So he could swing up 8, all the way over here 8, swing all the way east or all the way south. And he could always put slack in the line and hang out anywhere in there. So if you could find the area of that shape, which you can clearly see as part of a circle, that would be great. But is that truly all the area that he can be at? Or could he swing around this side of the shed? And I believe he can. If the 8 meter went all the way out here, you should be able to figure out what part is here to the end, and he could also swing back around that corner. Again, if the rope is 8, you should be able to figure out how long that is, and he could even swing that around the corner, so you could figure out those 2 areas, which again are part of a circle. So this middle section right here, that is the shed. He can't go inside of that. This is the shed. But he can get his rope to get anywhere within the orange or the blue areas. Best of luck in figuring that out for that one. That's number 2. Question 3, and I often wonder this when I'm driving around. The diagram shown below, or above it should say, models a rectangular rear window of a car. This fancy car has a rear window wiper that can rotate through 160 degrees. What percentage of the rear window is cleaned by the wiper? I don't know about you, but sometimes I look at the wiper and I think, I wish it would clean more, like almost 90% of it. You can look at that one and make an estimate to say, I don't think that's much more than half. That's just my guess, and I don't know if it's perfectly drawn to scale. So what you want to find is, anytime they want a percentage, we want to start as a fraction. The bottom of the fraction would be the total area of window, which I'm sure you can see that the window is just one rectangle. So that would be pretty easy to find the denominator. Now the top is this weird shape right here, which is part of a circle with part of a circle cut out of it. So I just want to give you a heads up. I would probably do something like this and find the area of that sector that I highlighted in orange. The sector formula is on your formula sheet, and we've also covered that. Find this whole sector, even this part here that it doesn't even seem to get. And then what I would do is subtract out that little sector right there. There are some numbers here. From the center over here is 20, and from that edge to there is 40. So to get the area that is cleaned, I'd find the area of the orange sector and subtract out the blue sector. So orange, I'll write that on here, orange sector minus blue sector. And remember, the sector formula is the central angle over 360 times pi r squared. It's the fraction of the area. And then when you get that, you can divide it out, and please change it to a percent. Best of luck on these Rise Up problems.